Have you ever wondered why we now have the Federal Aviation Administration? Because I can promise you, they have not always been there.
Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and desire. You transform out of in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn a thirst and
Flying is a wonderful privilege. With it, we are able to travel the world to see new things, have new adventures, and meet new people. There is so much that can be said about aviation and the love aviators and aviation enthusiasts share when talking about traveling and the different type of aircraft. However, the aviation industry isn't always sunshine and rainbows. What most people only see is a small tip of the iceberg that is air travel. People are happy when things go well and according to plan, but the switch flips the moment there is a delay. The thing is, air travel is always going to have its ups and downs and always has. What we see today is the result of changes over the years due to significant events that, in order to have happened, resulted in the loss of human life. Welcome to my channel, y'all. My name is Sasha. If you are new, if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, my Loyal Royals. So good to see you. If you are new to the fam, welcome to the family, my new Loyal Royals. So good to finally meet you. Welcome y'all to another episode of Aviation Mondays. And in today's video, this one's actually going to be a little bit more serious than the usual of what I do with aviation facts. But it's time to talk about significant changes that have occurred in the aviation industry as a result of past events. So I usually give a 5 set. In this case, I'm only going to do 4, as I don't want this video to be too long, but at the same time, I don't want it to get too depressing. So with all that being said, as a disclaimer, please keep in mind, I do have resources down in the description box down below. If you wish to check them, check behind me and what I've read, you can do so by clicking those sources. And these are all legitimate events that have actually occurred, which unfortunately resulted in a lot of loss of human life, but it has caused dramatic changes of what we know today in the aviation industry. So with all that being said, let's get into this. Have you ever wondered the reason why there's smoke detectors in the lavatories on aircraft as well as lighting on the floor? Let me tell you why. Air Canada Flight 797. While in flight, smoke began to come out of the rear lavatory unnoticed until it was thick enough to begin to fill the cabin. The pilot declared an emergency landing, in which he landed the aircraft at Cincinnati Airport. However, as soon as the emergency doors were opened, the cabin erupted into flames. Unfortunately, it would take this event for smoke detectors to be installed in the labs in the front and rear of the aircraft, therefore easily being able to detect any possible traces of smoke or carbon dioxide that would possibly cause any future disaster. And this is why we have them today, and they have saved many of lives as a result. Have you ever wondered why aircraft windows are rounded instead of square? Here's another way of knowing. Between 1953 and 1954, 3 de Havilland brand new Comet airliners mysteriously broke apart. It was later found that the metal on the aircraft was subject to fatigue due to pressure in the cabin and weak points on the square windows. This is what eventually caused them to pretty much reconstruct all windows, and now the windows you see today are in the rounded shape. I don't know how many people are aware of this. I know I mentioned this as a really cool aviation fact in a previous video, but English is the standard for global communication. I had briefly gone over why, but here's the full true reason why. In 1977, at Tenerife Airport, which is located in the Canary Islands in Spain, 2 Boeing 747s, one belonging to Pan Am and the other to KLM, collided on the runway. Unfortunately, this collision would take the lives of 309 people. All 248 lost their lives on the KLM flight, and 61 of the 396 on the Pan Am would lose their lives. All of this could have been prevented if there was no mix-up with ATC instructions. Hence now, regardless of your accent, where you're from, or whatnot, English is a requirement as a universal communication language. The reason behind the collision also has to do with the fog. One aircraft was set to taxi, the other aircraft was ready to take off. And mix-up of instructions ended with both colliding, and it's literally labeled as one of the worst, if not the worst, aircraft disaster in aviation history. So that explains why we have English as the universal language. I know there's so many people that always say, well, everybody should speak English. Well, guess what? In the world of aviation, it's a requirement for air traffic control. Have you ever wondered why we now have the Federal Aviation Administration? Because I can promise you, they have not always been there. In 1956, 2 airliners, a TWA flight number 2, and United Airlines flight 718, collided in mid-air near the Grand Canyon, killing 100 people instantly. This would lead to massive upgrades in the air traffic control system and the creation of the Federal Aviation Administration. Since these changes have been made, there have been no similar accidents in the United States. It's sad to say that all these changes that have been made throughout the history of aviation has been the result of crashes, but there's always that phrase of it takes a tragedy to make a change happen. But all I can say is we can't keep having tragedies just to make a change happen. But these are some of the reasons as to why aircraft are the way they are, rules are in place the way they are, and for people that don't like to follow them, I'm gonna have to tell you, you're gonna have to wake up and smell the green grass, because literally, had it not been for all these incidents, accidents, crashes, however you want to categorize them, none of these rules will be in place. And even today, there's still incidents that are going on with investigations with crashes that have happened years ago that are still being conducted, and they're causing more and more regulations to be adjusted as a result. So I know this video is not all happy-go-lucky like I normally like to keep it, but it's one I've been wanting to put out for a while. I do hope that you found it useful. If you are an aviation enthusiast and you know more changes that have been made as a result of other things that I did not mention, even though there's a slew of them, please do let me know down in the comments down below. Again, if you wish to go and read behind me and my sources, they will be listed in the description box. If you like this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel as I do post aviation related videos every Monday, as well as travel videos. Well, getting there with the travel vlogs, but travel advice and other things on Saturdays. So again, please subscribe. Please give this video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends, family, and other aviation enthusiasts. Please go follow me over on Twitter at DragonPink07, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.